provided we get the economy diversified and developing from the narrow base that it's been, that consulting is in an early stage of really well diversified development. What it depends on is two things. One is the oil price and revenues stay down. It will force the economy to change. And as it forces the economy to change, government itself is going to have to divest itself of many of the businesses because it can no longer afford to keep them. The net result of this is that you're going to see the old industries in Nigeria change considerably as they meet the new environment, but more importantly, the new industries that are going to be developed are diversifying the entire economy, and these will be more in agriculture, in the food chain that depends on agriculture, on import industries now that we're going to develop local production. And I think in general you're going to see a much more diversified economy provided the oil price and revenue stay down and government responds the way it should. The number one thing is to get the right people, to train them the right way, to coach them on the job and develop them with experiences from experienced people, and then get out of the way in the sense of having them develop as early as they can, sort of thing. I think this was something I was taught in the Arthur Andersen life, and I think we've done it quite well in the consulting practice, particularly with Doughton and Mabola and others that have taken over that practice. But it's people first. I think the second thing is that you have to be sure that the practice that you have, the kinds of skills, the kinds of services you're offering, the kinds of work that you focus on are responsive to the economy that you're working in. Nigeria has been an economy that's been fairly narrowly based, and now as the economy's going to diversify, the consulting skills are going to be even in more demand in the future. And I think the third thing is that basically you have to have a deep knowledge of the local environment that you're working in. Fly-in firms have a distinct disadvantage because they try to apply approaches and processes and techniques that, while they're good, they're based on an economy different than the Nigerian economy. So in a sense, it's people, it's developing the right kind of market, and it's making sure your skills are relevant to the market. I think the alumni, both of Arthur Andersen and of Accenture, have demonstrated as they leave the firms that they are very highly regarded in industry, and they end up being leaders very quickly in anything that they go into. Now they also, from the standpoint of any consulting firm, the alumni are probably the most important salespeople. So it's extremely important that any consulting firm have a close relationship with alumni, support the alumni, help them all they can, sort of thing, because it's a two-way street. They get the benefits back. And I think we have very strong alumni in both the Arthur Andersen side and the Accenture in the country, and it will grow over time because we're still pretty young in this country, and as time goes by, I think you'll see more and more leadership both in government and in business and even in nonprofit organizations come from firms like Accenture and Arthur Andersen.
You're amazing, dear Lord. You are amazing, dear Lord. You amaze me, dear Lord. You amaze me.
If there's one thing that is responsible for the success of Accenture in Nigeria, and I mean by Accenture to include Arthur Andersen before it, and even maybe right now I think BMG. That one thing is the quality of people that the firm recruited. The firm recruited very, very bright people, very, very ambitious people who are willing to learn and so on. And then the firm invested significantly, in their training and development. So they became the best professional, they can possibly be. So when you have a combination of very good people to start with the best training obtainable, in the profession, the quick quality of the training, of course, like I said, is the choice of clients. We were very picky in the assignment tool. We were more interested in transformational assignments and so on. And of course, we were also interested in clients that are interested in making a real difference. Now, the other thing that I would say was responsible for the success of the firm in Nigeria is the environment that we create. There's something about the Accenture environment. It's very accommodating, has its own combination of stress, support, challenge, the whole work. And so it just makes for professional growth. I mean, we have this thing about respect for the individual, you work hard, you do whatever it takes to satisfy the client and so on. Those are the best of you. So for me, therefore, Accenture is a very good place to make a career. And even if you don't want to make a career in Accenture, it's a very good place to get significant training that you can then leverage for career outside the firm.
Heaven sound the earth by the words of your mouth.
My expectations for Accenture in today's Nigeria is basically being the same, except of course that we are living in interesting times. We are living in very, very challenging times. And these challenging times that require, innovative solutions and so on. And that's basically where Accenture comes in. I've always maintained that Nigeria is a country that has yet to be built. And there are still so many things we have to do that require all kinds of skills and backgrounds and knowledge. And Accenture is very well positioned to provide this. So the more challenging the environment is, so the structure we have, the more there is a need for people with innovative solutions and so on that can bring what you might call best-in-class ideas to the table, and not just the ideas but also assist with the implementation, basically making change happen. And that's basically what Accenture has always done very well. I remember in those days we used to pride ourselves in not producing just reports but results. So which means therefore beyond the recommendation we stand behind our clients to make sure things are implemented and so on. So when you have a situation like we have now in Nigeria with the economic challenges that the country faces, we need very innovative, very creative, very result-oriented help. I mean, the country needs a lot of help, and I think Accenture is very, very well positioned to provide that help. Now, whether we'll go for that help or not remains to be seen. Clearly, we haven't done all that we should have done. I think there's enough work in this country to keep Accenture busy all year round. Maybe 1,000 consultants all year round, and still leave enough room for McKinsey and for Bain and all the other people who are coming to the market. But the unfortunate about Nigeria is that we have yet to seriously start addressing the issues that now or later, hopefully sooner than later, we'll get there, and that should keep Accenture or the likes of Accenture very busy and very occupied.
You are so wonderful. You are amazing.
My advice to Accenture people is basically work hard and work smart. And that's basically been the success, the secret to the success of Accenture. It's a very accommodating, very supportive environment that we have. We've got a lot of mentoring, a lot of training, a lot of development, and it's an environment that brings out the best that you can possibly be. And on top of it all is a meritocracy. You get by or you get along based purely on your contribution. So it's an environment where you can be what is you want. You can literally write your own ticket. So the advice therefore is just once you get in, and when you get in, you suppose that you're good, you can learn, you want to grow, you want to make a difference and so on. sophisticatedly apply yourself and work very hard and take advantage of all that the firm has to offer, including the global connections. Because there are not many firms where you can tap into the knowledge and the experience of thousands and thousands of consultants across the world that is available to you on tap. You need to do is ask. And the firm shares knowledge seamlessly, and it just makes you the best person you can possibly be in this environment. Now, if you do that and you work hard, your reward, of course, is progress. All the firms still pays competitive wage, that is in my days. Even though we're not the best payer, the firm more than made up for that difference. The other soft benefits that we got, the training, the mentorship, the quality of the environment, the quality of people that you work with, and so on. One of the things you miss when you leave Accenture is that a lot of things we take for granted, like the quality of the environment or the quality of people that you work with and so on. That's simply not there. I mean, that's the first thing you miss. You miss quality, interaction, daily interaction with very, very bright, very, very ambitious, very, very hardworking people, and that basically brings the best in you.
I love you to shout to. I love you to shout to. You like pariwo.
Accenture is not your traditional company. It's the 7th company I've worked in and the first that truly upholds its core values. I believe the founding fathers of the firm, Dick and Dutton, deserve a lot of credit for putting in the structures that have helped to shape the organization today. Our core values, which are covered under the acronym BRICOS, B-R-I-C-O-S, are universal in appeal and makes us a truly, truly great institution.
Best people. Respect the individual. Integrity.
Client value creation. One global network.
Still watching.
Accenture.
Tunde should continue to be who he is, okay? And Tunde, especially now that I see that he has a lot of ideas coming up now that he's gone beyond proving his mettle. So he's now at a stage in his life where he's asking himself questions like, okay, so what do I really want to do? Where do I think I make the most contribution? And what do I really want to get out of the next 5 years, 10 years? So I think my biggest advice to him would be to be very clear on the essence of who he is and what he wants to accomplish, and to follow it. Because ultimately, that's all we have. Ultimately, when you're 70 and 80, you look backwards. It's not really how much money you made over the time or the roles and titles that you had. It's whether you are happy with what you have contributed, whatever that sphere of contribution ends up to be. So that's my advice to him. And of course, I need hardly say it because Tunde will be who Tunde is anyway.
Yeah, look, how are you doing?
Where are you going?
I'm going home. I'm going to pick my kids from school.
Oh, it's 4 o'clock already.
Yes. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. Enjoy. Greetings to them.
Looking back, joining Accenture was a big gamble because I left my comfort zone in the ICT industry. Back then, my friends thought I was crazy, but I longed for more than just a nice office title. I desired to climb the ladder of this great institution. I'm still climbing, but I like where I am, and as I transition to my next place of assignment, I have no doubt that it will be equally or even perhaps more exciting than the first phase. In Accenture, I've worked in different countries alongside professionals that speak a wide variety of languages, including Portuguese, Spanish, Indian, French, Swahili, to name a few. I'm very happy to have had these opportunities and will be cheering on the efforts of Accenture's operations in Nigeria. For now, it's bye Over, and my favorite, Hasta luego.
We can achieve more. Together we can make it better, yeah. Together we can achieve more. All because together everybody wins. Together we can achieve more.